Hey guys, welcome to our Speaking with Confidence workshop. In this series of videos, we'll be analyzing the first tense, which is simple present or present simple. We'll be exploring the following topics: what it is, when and why we use it, how we use it, the rules for spelling, the rules for pronunciation, and some communication tips. Let's start with what present simple is. Basically, present simple or simple present is the tense that we use to express everything that is repetitive and relevant to the time of speaking. Now, what does that really mean? What are the different applications? That's what we like to call the when and why we use it. And when and why we use it, the first application is for repeated actions or habits or routines that are relevant. Most of the time, we give it a little bit more context through frequency adverbs or adverbs of frequency, such as always, often, usually, sometimes. We use these special adverbs to give it more context of the repetitive nature of this first application. The second application and the third one are pretty similar. They both focus on facts or generalization, or basically things that are permanent or always true. The next one, guys, is when you are giving instructions or directions. If you are in charge of training the new hires in your company or at the hospital, well, all the instructions that you would give are in simple present. When you're telling someone how to get from point A to point B, you use simple present. The next one is when you want to talk about stories or commentaries. All right, guys, here, when we do our exercise first thing in class, you watch a video, you take notes, and then you have to explain the video. Well, when you get to explain the video, the tense that you have to be using is simple present. If you want to comment on the news, or if you want to comment on a book, on a documentary, on a film, or on a movie, the most suitable tense is simple present. The next one, guys, simple present can also be used to express future, but not all the aspects of future, only timetables or schedules. Here, let me show you an example, guys. Remember, the focus here is that something is going to happen in the future, and we are placing emphasis on the time. As we can see on this example, the lesson starts at 9:30 tomorrow instead of 10:30. Here, as we can see, our subject lesson is being conjugated by the verb starts, which is simple present. Tomorrow gives it a context of future, and the emphasis is 9:30 tomorrow. The next one is the same. Lunch is at 12:30. Don't be late. From what we can see or understand on this one is that lunch is not right now. It's going to be at some point in the future, and that's when we use simple present to express that an event is going to take place sometime in the future, but it is imperative that you include the time to make sense and to make good use or correct use of this tense in the future aspect of it. The next one, guys, has to do with what we call stated verbs or non-continuous verbs. Now, these verbs, guys, are mostly verbs that state instead of telling an action. Let me give you an example. Run, you can picture someone running. So running is not a stated verb, it's an action verb. However, think, see are stated verbs because you can't really picture someone thinking. You have the idea, you have probably some context that the person is thinking, but we cannot 100% guarantee that the person is thinking. Well, those are stated verbs. Are those verbs that express senses such as see, smell, taste, and hear. Those we do not use them with present progressive. Can we say hearing? Yes, but hearing is a gerund. It's not being conjugated in present progressive. All right, guys? And there is a list that I will be providing for you guys of these non-continuous or stated verbs. Just know that there are some verbs that we can only use them in simple present. And some of those verbs are, for example, the ones on the next application. Promise, swear, and agree. Well, how can you visualize someone doing this? It's pretty much complicated. So let me give you some examples. Now imagine this. Right now, I need money. And I tell you this right now, this moment, I tell you, hey, please, give me some money. I will pay you back. I promise when I get paid, you get your money. Here, the action will be happening here and now. Therefore, this should have been in present progressive. But the rule says no. These verbs, even if they're happening at this time, you have to use them in simple form. All right? And promise, swear, agree are some of them. All right, guys. Now, the next application, present simple, when, after, or when, or before, or etc. will be explored more on the future tense. So that's it right now for the when and why we use it, and we'll go into more detail on the following videos.